TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
Hello, I'm Phil Blizzard in Dubai with the Travel Podcast, news, views and interviews, and we start off. What we got lined up for you today? Well, we'll be taking a look at what's happening in terms of airlines across the Middle East region and beyond, and some international news regarding aviation as well. Looking at some events which have been postponed or cancelled. A special interview with one hotel in the UAE which is offering a very nice incentive to those on the front line fighting COVID-19. So an interview with the CEO of JA Hotels and Resorts. But we're going to start off with some main coronavirus news from across the world.
TravelWise news.
Well, on a positive note, the Matterhorn in Switzerland, the very iconic mountain there, has been displaying flags of numerous countries who are fighting COVID-19. So projected onto this massive mountain, flags of the UAE for a start, India and America, to name just a few, and they're doing this on a nightly basis. Very colourful indeed. Must be a massive, powerful projector to do that. Some airline carriers in Europe and America are looking ahead to when they'll be flying again, and they've been saying that they could well be removing the middle seat to keep people apart to ensure social distancing. So that's airlines like EasyJet and Wizz in Europe. Delta and America have said they will all be doing that. So for example, if you take one like EasyJet, it means the number of passengers who would normally be squeezed into, say, an A320-200 will be cut from 180 to 120. That's going to have a massive impact on their revenue stream. So most airlines, low-cost carriers, need to sell between 75% and 80% of seats on any flight to break even. By removing the middle seats, that will reduce the maximum load factors to 66%, way below their break-even point. So that means fares will go up. More aviation news in a moment.
TravelWise news.
Well, airport news out of Dubai. In conjunction with the Dubai Health Authority, Emirates have been doing a groundbreaking testing of passengers for COVID-19, believed to be the first in the world to be testing passengers just before they board the flight with a test which is being quickly conducted by the Dubai Health Authority, a quick blood test with results available within just 10 minutes. And this was done at or is being done at the group check-in area at Dubai International Airport Terminal 3. So some groundbreaking news there, and a groundbreaking testing system for passengers flying with Emirates out of Dubai International Airport Terminal 3, so well done to them. A number of repatriation flights out of the UAE from all the airlines operating here, really, from Emirates to Etihad, Fly Dubai and Air Arabia. Now, these are changing on a very frequent basis, so do check with your airline if you're planning to get back to your home country, and also you need to check in terms of if you can get in all right to that particular country, because some are in lockdown, of course. So Emirates have been increasing the number of passenger flights. They've got services operating to Jakarta in Indonesia, Manila in the Philippines, Taipei, Chicago, Tunis, Algiers and Kabul already, in addition to ones we've mentioned in the past, London and Frankfurt. And for all of those flights, you need to take a mask. Gloves will be provided, meals will be provided and drinks. Seat selection is not available. That will be done when you check in by the staff at the airport, and where you sit will depend on the load factor of the flight. So if you're flying business class, a few things not available include lounges and chauffeur drive. In this TravelWise podcast with me, Phil Blizzard, here in Dubai, I'm going to be catching up with the CEO of Jebel Ali Hotels and Resorts, Anthony Ross, about a special initiative which they're offering to those on the front line fighting COVID-19. Let's find out what he's got to say.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
Well, my special guest today is Anthony Ross, who's the CEO of JA Resorts and Hotels. And Anthony, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
So, give us an overview, first of all, of the properties within the group. I mean, the long-established resort at Jebel Ali, one of the oldest in the UAE and probably one of the oldest in the Middle East. Is what, your flagship property?
Yeah, that's JA, the resort in Jebel Ali. It's our flagship property, and we are the first UAE-born hotel brand, and the first hotel opened in 1981 in Jebel Ali. It's grown to 3 hotels during the last 40 years, and we've got Lakeview, we have Beach Hotel, and we have our all-suite Palm Tree Court Hotel in the same 1 million square metre facility now.
And of course, you've got the golf course there as being a key attraction, hosting many, many international golfers in the past.
Indeed, yeah, it was a Peter Harradine designed golf course, beautiful little 9-hole golf course. There's a marina, there's horse riding stables, there's a shooting club. There's a lot going on out there.
So going from the beach to the mountains, and Hatta, again, another well-established getaway for people living in Dubai and across the UAE, Hatta Fort.
Hatta Fort Hotel, yeah, that also opened in 1981. So that's our original 2 hotels. It's about 90 minutes drive from Dubai, and it's a very, very different experience from the beaches and the city of Dubai. It's going back in time a little bit.
Sure.
Beautiful mountains and walks and outdoor activities.
And in downtown Dubai, the latest additions, or the more recent additions, I should say, to your portfolio.
Yes, in JBR we have 2 properties. We have the JA Ocean View Hotel, and down the other end of the walk in JBR we have JA Oasis Beach Tower, which is our deluxe service apartment hotel.
And at the moment, in these difficult times for travelling, I mean, what can you offer any guests you have in the hotels?
So at the moment we've got 2 open, Phil. We've got Palm Tree Court, and we have a number of guests staying there that have kind of been left stranded. They're waiting to go back to their home countries, although some of them have told us they'd rather wish they could stay here. And we have in our deluxe service apartment hotel in JBR, we have about 50 long stay guests, mainly working for multinational companies based in Dubai.
Well, I think if I was a visitor to the UAE and I got stranded at your resort in Jebel Ali, Palm Tree Court, yeah, I couldn't think of a better place to stay in many ways. Wonderful setting.
Not a bad place to be.
Yeah. So, and you say you got long stay guests in the property in Jumeirah Beach residence area. So let's have a look now. I mean, what you are able to see as being the way ahead. What will you be hoping to achieve once people start travelling again?
Well, we're looking at it in 3 phases, actually, Phil. We hoping that if everybody does the right thing and stays at home now, that, hopefully by the end of April, travel will open up again, or opportunities for staycations within the UAE. We think that, after so many weeks of being in their homes and their apartments, people may have a little bit of cabin fever, and to get away to the mountains or down to the beach would be a really good thing to do. So we're ready with some really good rates to get local UAE residents out. And then we're hoping that the GCC is going to open up, and maybe we'll get some guests from the region. And then later on in the year, maybe 3rd or 4th quarter, we can hope to get our traditional European markets back to Dubai.
Sure. And as you say, cabin fever, I think you'll probably be inundated with people who want to get to the beaches, get to the resorts, get to the mountains once we're able to travel again. So are you going to be geared up for a big rush?
We are, yeah. We're really looking forward to it. Our team members are in ongoing training activities online, and we're keeping most of them here. Some of them are taking their vacations back in their home countries. But, we're trying to keep everybody up and motivated and ready for the expected arrival.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
Well, we've been talking about the properties in the UAE, but of course you've got properties in the Indian Oceans. You have 2 hotels there. So give us a quick overview of the one, let's say, first of all, the Maldives.
Yeah, Maldives is 84 villas, beautiful villas with swimming pools. Half of them are over the water. It's just over an hour away from Male, the capital of Maldives. It's a beautiful environment. Maldives is just one of the most beautiful places in the world. But our property is different in that it's a little bit out there by itself. It's not surrounded by other resorts or other islands, and you just get a beautiful, uninterrupted Indian Ocean view.
Brilliant. Sounds wonderful. Now, I've got your website in front of me and it's flicking through different pages on the home page and different locations. And, of course, the Seychelles as well. That's just cropped up in front of me. So that's a delightful resort as well. Yeah, the Seychelles is a really beautiful little resort. 10 pool villas on an island called Round Island, which is about 10 minutes off the coast of the main island of Seychelles, and it's really about a 20-minute transfer from the airport. And it's a very, very romantic property, Phil. A location where romantic dreams come to life, I think, is your slogan for that one.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it looks absolutely marvellous in the heart of the Indian Ocean. We're looking at the JA Resorts and Hotels with CEO Anthony Ross. And you've, looking at the current situation, you've taken up an initiative where you're going to be sort of thanking healthcare workers, people at the front line, for the efforts they've been putting in to try and keep us safe, and for those who aren't well, to make them better. So what's this initiative?
Well, we wanted to say thank you. We wanted to recognise the great work, the brave work actually that they're doing on our behalf here in the UAE. So we came up with this 1,000 thank yous, and 1,000 thank yous is an Arabic saying. And so we've given the healthcare workers 1,000 free room nights at any of our hotels here in the UAE. All they have to do is email us at thankyou@jaresorts.com.
TravelWise News
that they can come and use when everybody's allowed to get out and about again.
Okay, and that is you're running this campaign up until what, the end of April, I believe?
Well, yeah, we've kind of been inundated with applicants. We've still got a few more available, but basically, obviously they can't come and use them now, so they can use them anytime in 2020.
Okay, and give me that email address once again for people who are working in the appropriate sector.
Yeah, it's just thankyou@jaresorts.com.
Okay, and I want to thank you for joining us. We're going to finish off now, and I've been asking everyone who's joining me at the moment a personal question. Once we're able to travel freely, where would you like to go? What's going to be your number one choice, and why?
Well, I'd like to go to New Zealand, where my wife is from, for the fresh air, the cool climate, and the open spaces. Okay, well, it sounds a great destination to go to. And, of course, your great destinations across the Middle East and the Indian Ocean. So, well worth bearing in mind once we're able to travel again. So, Anthony, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Pleasure, Phil. Thank you.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
Anthony Ross from Jebel Ali Hotels and Resorts, and a fabulous initiative there looking at how they can sort of offer something back to those on the front line fighting COVID-19. Got interesting news regarding private jets and how they're being used by the rich and famous, well, it's more so the rich, I think, in the UK. So taking a look at that in just a moment here on the TravelWise podcast.
TravelWise News.
Well, hundreds of private jets are being used by rich passengers to enter the UK from various hotspots since the lockdown began, and also leave the UK to other parts of the world. Now, Britain is already setting itself apart from the rest of the world with few travel restrictions. For example, more than 15,000 passengers are still arriving into the UK each day on scheduled flights, with no routine tests being carried out on arrival. Yeah, not too good, eh? So while many other countries have clamped down on international travellers and imposed quarantine rules, and also, I remember going to Bangkok way back at the end of January and having my temperature taken 3 times from getting off the aircraft through to leaving the airport. So a lot of this has been set up in so many airports around the world. Well, in the UK, an investigation, and I saw this story in the Times, that's where the stories come from, an investigation identified 545 private jets landing in UK airfields since the lockdown was imposed last month. Now, these come from very hotspots like Spain, 25 flights from there apparently, France 27, Germany not quite so bad in terms of the coronavirus impact on that country with 32 flights. A number from America as well, and of course America is in a very, very poor state when it comes to those affected by COVID-19. So apparently some wealthy passengers have been misleading about the purposes for private jet hire, claiming they're travelling to family homes rather than second homes or holiday homes, and getting around the open borders policy in the UK. Those who've got travel restrictions, those countries, well, it's 130 of them since the pandemic pandemic began. So UK being very slow there. President of Public Health at the Royal Society of Medicine, Professor Gabriel Scally, said it was hard to understand why the UK persisted in an open borders policy, calling it most peculiar. And there's one story that emerged last week that French police turned back a private jet from the UK after a group of wealthy passengers tried to fly from Farnborough to Marseille for a holiday. There we go. Okay, we'll have some more aviation news coming your way in just a moment.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
Hello, I'm Ryan Pyle, talking with Phil Blizzard on his TravelWise podcast about some of my most amazing adventures across the globe whilst filming for Amazon, the BBC and Discovery Channel. Coming your way soon on Spotify and Apple Podcast.
And I look forward to talking to Ryan Pyle, adventurer, TV host, very, very soon on a forthcoming edition of the TravelWise podcast.
TravelWise news.
A couple of things here. First of all, a bit of a mishap at Dubai International Airport when a BA Airbus 350 bumped into an Emirates Boeing 777. What happened was the Boeing 777 was stationary and the BA Airbus was on pushback, getting ready for going along the runway on a cargo-only flight to London Heathrow when the tractor pushing it probably did a bit of a mismanoeuvre and BA clipped the side, the rear wing of the Boeing 777. Oops, expensive mistake there by someone. And another bit of news, Air India, they've announced, this is all subject to government approval, they will commence domestic flights from May the 1st. And international flights from June the 1st. That's Air India, but all subject to government approval. Finish off taking a look at some event news here on... And to finish off, taking a look now at some events news here on this TravelWise podcast.
TravelWise news.
Well, the Arabian Hotel Investment Conference, which was scheduled to take place earlier in April, has been put back to September the 21st and the 22nd. Keep fingers crossed for that. The Arabian Travel Market, which was due to be held in Dubai, it's often referred to as the biggest travel shop, that was due to take place this very week. That was first of all postponed until June. Now it's been cancelled and put back to 2021. But they will be having a virtual event, virtual ATM, on the 1st and 2nd and 3rd of June. They'll have a number of webinars, live conference sessions, speed networking events and one-on-one meetings. So further details on that, go to the Arabian Travel Market website.
TravelWise news.
Well, that's it for this time. I'm Phil Blizzard. This is a Phil Blizzard media production. If you've got some information, some news you want to send me, do drop me an email on philblizzardmedia@gmail.com.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.